Hello everyone and welcome back to the virtual safari. So today we've got another Q&A session, and we've got 5 questions over here that we're just going to quickly run through and have a bit of a chat. And please, as always, just leave if you have any more information about these questions or any interesting information, leave it down in the comment section. And also please ask more questions so that we can keep having these Q&As and keep giving that constructive criticism. We love it, and it just gives us ways to improve the channel and just to fit it to the way that you all like the channel being. So first question of today: how much bigger are they than Red Road? They're huge, and this is referring to the 2 Mberi males, also referring to the virtual of the Mberi males infiltrate the Pride. And this question is half off on either end. So you have 2 Mberi males within the coalition, and one is bigger than Red Road and one isn't bigger than Red Road. In the Mberi coalition, you have Scar Mberi, which is the one that has a very noticeable hanging lip, and then also Shaka Mberi, which has a bit of a smaller mane. You can see his right eye points straight where he's looking, and his left eye points a little bit to the right. And Shaka Mberi is actually smaller than Red Road. They're very tall lions, but Red Road is a little bit more bulkier than Shaka, and I think he's actually at the same height as Shaka Mberi. And then it goes on to Scar. Scar is a very, very big lion. Even for his age, the body starts to deteriorate, but it just seems like he's been able to keep his mass on him. And his mane is also very, very big, which also makes him look bigger than Red Road. So Shaka Mberi, smaller than Red Road, but Scar Mberi is definitely bigger, but it doesn't take anything away from Red Road. He still has a very nice build to him. He's nice and stocky, and he also does have height. So even if a lion isn't tall, it doesn't mean that he's not going to be good in combat. Lions that are actually generally shorter are actually better in combat, just because of their low center of gravity. They're able to control their weight a lot better than being tall. On to the second question. That is wild that 2 different sets of males who don't hang around each other are willing to look after the same batch of cubs. So I saw a lot of comments in the Mberi males infiltrate the Pride. A lot of people are saying the Mberi males are, uncles to these cubs because they're related to the females within the Mberi Pride, and the Mberi males do come from the Mberi Pride. But the thing is, how it works in the lion world, if males come across cubs that aren't theirs, they're going to kill those cubs to force the females back into estrus, mate with the females, and then they're going to have a lineage of their own. What I think the female did during that period where she was on heat, she would have gone and mated with Mandevo. She would have gone and mated with the young Orphan male. She would have gone and mated with at least one of the Mberis, at most likely Scar Mberi being the more bigger and dominant one out of the 2. And what that does is when she gives birth, all of these males just think that this cub is theirs or their son. And it just causes them to protect that cub, even though that they aren't really aware that she might have mated with other males. So they're all going to protect it, and whether she goes and hangs out with Mandevu or a young open male, they're not going to mess with the cub. And then now in this instance, when she was with the Mberi males, they feel comfortable with the cub there. They think it's theirs, and she doesn't mind. She doesn't care who the father is, as long as there's good genes running in the family and the cub is safe, then she doesn't really care what the males think. Now, number 3, I've got a question. Does anybody know what happened to the lips of the 2 males? Also referring to the Mberi males. So Scar Mberi definitely has a hanging jaw, and that could have been from maybe a potential fight. Lions are very rough. If you've been able to witness a fight, even on video, you can see they really go at each other. So maybe his jaw had broken during a fight, or even during hunting, getting kicked by a giraffe. Giraffe's kick has so much force, could even knock out a lion, break bones. I've even seen a video of a lion getting kicked by a giraffe and getting broken bones on the ribs. And so maybe Scar got kicked by a giraffe and had a broken jaw, and now it's just hanging there. But it's only the end of his jaw that actually hangs quite low. You can actually still see the bottom incisors are still intact, and he still has those. And then for Shaka and Berry, it's only been a recent thing that we've been seeing his jaw droop a little bit. It could be, he could have also, during a hunting incident, gotten a drooping jaw, being kicked by something. But now that the age that they're getting to, if we're starting to notice that he's getting a drooping jaw, it might just be that old age, skin starts to, or your mass, you start to lose your mass, you don't have that muscle anymore, you've built or stretched the skin up, and then as you start to lose this mass, you get this extra skin, so it might just be hanging a little bit more than usual, and that's what we're starting to notice a little bit. But then also, old age, you could get that nerve damage around the face, around kills, you might get smacked a lot, maybe from Scar or Shaka smacking each other around kills, that might cause that nerve damage just to make it droop a little bit like that. But it doesn't affect them at all. They're still able to eat, still able to fight, still able to look after females as they usually would. So it's not something to really be worried about. It doesn't really affect them at all. Number 4, how old is Red Road now? So before I tell you his age, typical adult male lion age, you would get to about 12, and then maybe 13 if he's lucky, 14 if he's lucky. But if he gets to 14, he would most likely not be hanging around a pride or dominant over a pride. He would be shifted into a nomadic male and staying out of other males' areas. But Red Road is actually around 11 years old already, and I think this year he's actually going to turn 12. So he's at the latter end of his life cycle. But if you have a look at Red Road on the videos, he's looking like an absolute machine. He's doing everything perfectly fine. Doesn't seem like there's any body deterioration, so I think Red Road is still good for now. And on to the last and final question, number 5. Has the Kruger male left the area? Thanks for the updates. Looking forward to be back in May. So first of all, we look forward to having you back in May. I trust that you're going to have a fantastic time, and I'm sure you'll have amazing sightings and maybe see some of the lions that we get to see on the virtual safari. But the Kruger male has left the area. He's gone down into the Sabi Sand region, actually to be specific, into the western sector of the Sabi Sands. The lion enthusiast might have seen, he's met up with the southern Avoca male. They've almost joined forces and become coalition partners. It just makes sense from their point of view, being two loners, kind of getting to the end of their lifespan. Just to increase the chance of survival, they're going to join forces and take on the world, or the world for the rest of their lives together. And it leaves an interesting point there with that question. The southern part of the Manyeleti has almost become vacant of males. There's no males in that area unless Red Road ventures down. But that whole area of Dixie Koppies and Dixie Dam, and almost towards Buffalo's Hook area, there's almost been no male lions in that area for quite some time. So it would make some really good sense for the southern Avoca male and the Kruger male to come back into the Manyeleti and take over that southern sector. Because if you have a look at the western sector of Sabi Sands, you have the two Plains Camp males that are dominant over the whole western sector of Sabi Sands. They're two big males in their prime. The southern Avoca male and the Kruger male aren't going to give them any trouble or try and compete with them. Also recently, at least 4 or 5 Monwana males have been seen in the western sector of Sabi Sands, and also there's been a lot of male lion activity in that area. So with that amount of lion activity in the area, it's not an area where two nomadic males would like to be. So I would really think that they would do really well if they came back to the southern edge of Manyeleti and even the northern sector of Sabi Sands. Yeah, that's going to do it for this Q&A. As I said in the beginning, please leave questions in the comment section, and as well with any other information that you have and constructive criticism. We love it. Stay tuned, and we'll see you all on the next virtual safari, where actually we're going to be giving you the young Orphan male's new name, which we're very excited about. Thank you all for those comments. It's been a nail biter trying to decide through all of those great names, but we have come down to one. that we think is very fitting, and we think it's a very suitable name for that individual line. So we're very excited to share with you that name. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next virtual safari.